just run away. Thank you, Keith. Introduction of visiting Rotarian and guests. Thank you.
Hello, fellow Rotarian. We are very, very happy that we have 3 guests. The first one is our speaker, Diana Watson. Welcome. The second is Ethan's spouse, his wife, Chloe, and her beautiful daughter, Brooklyn. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, PPA. President's time.
Hello everyone. Yeah, as usual, it's Chinese poetry time. Yeah, I'm so great that today's speaker Diana know Mandarin, so she can appreciate what I'm going to say later. Yeah, yesterday, okay, give me a call, say Cornell, she's going to attend this meeting. So I prepared this poem for her, but unfortunately she didn't show up. So I demonstrate the third one. Next, okay. Next. Okay, it's a painting. It mentioned about a very famous ancient calligrapher Wang Xizhi. We know that this famous calligrapher, she's very fond of goose. So this is a painting. You can see a goose there, right? And next is another painting. Yeah, he loved goose, and he ever drew a lot of painting about goose. Next, yeah, goose again. And this is the Chinese character goose he wrote. So this is not the whole story. The story is that the Qing emperor Qianlong. Qianlong, want to show his very profound, his very literature. So he showed to his people he loved like Wang Xizhi too. So one day he got the painting of Wang Xizhi's painting about goose. He's so glad and showed to all the official work for him, and everyone that try to praise him, say, oh, that's so good. And one of them is I forgot, sorry. Next, let me show the guy's name.有一个田龙的大臣叫，突然忘了他的名字。纪晓岚。纪晓岚 ，sorry. Yeah. Maybe I read too many books. 好，那他们就要纪晓岚写一首诗来讲那个百鹅图。就纪晓岚第一句他说鹅，然后第二句叫一鹅又一鹅，然后所有人都笑了，那其他人就很高兴讲，你平常自负甚高觉得自己学问很好，这时候出糗了，他们写了一首诗，前2句这么烂好像那个儿童的打油诗。结果这个纪晓岚又不慌不忙，他就说：直进皇家千钟路，凤凰何少鹅何多。他说这些鹅把这个皇家的那个米都快吃光了，可是呢都是鹅可是凤凰 Phoenix 这个是很 noble 的一种 bird， 很少。他自诩他是 Phoenix， 其他那些人都是鹅 结果后面这2句一出来的时候，其他的群臣大家就面面相觑，大家都讲不出话来。那只有乾隆皇帝在那边拍手叫好。Okay, that's the point that I shared today. Thank you.
Thank you. Secretary's time.
It's your turn.
Please remember that this Sunday it's gonna be Annie's wedding. Annie's daughter of Jolene at Ling Hotel. Yeah. Third floor. So please be there. And second of all, we have a board meeting after this meeting. So please, all board members, please stay after the lunch. And next, it's our monthly idioms time. So keys, please.
President Ma Ying-jeou is a lame duck. President Obama is a lame duck. President Putin is not a lame duck. Now, why is President Ma Ying-jeou a lame duck, and why is President Putin of Russia not a lame duck? Does a lame duck mean a duck got shot in the foot? What is a lame duck?
Crap.
Walks like this? No.
Oh.
Guess again. A lame duck. It means somebody who has had a job or profession or a position, and he is not going to have that past a certain date. So after this term of office expires, then that president is no longer the president. So between now and then, he is a lame duck, or she is a lame duck. And then after that, I guess they're not even a duck. And President Ma Ying-jeou will stop being the president. Why do you think they call it a lame duck? There's a reason, I think.
Quack, 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 quack. Quack, quack, quack.
Is that all they can do?
That's all they do when they give a speech. Quack, quack, quack.
No, that's the next one. They're still president, but they're limited because they can't do anything really much about next year. After their term is expired. So next year, guys, you're out of it. This is a time of interest in politics, both here and in the U.S. and in other places, because elections are coming up. And we hear about people saying, well, if I get elected, I will do this, and I will do that, and I will do the other. And then when they get elected, it didn't happen. They may have tried, but their talking is not usually to improve things in the country. It's to improve their chances of getting elected. And it's just a bunch of what we call hot air, which has nothing to do with the climate.
Thank you, please. And now invite our speaker today. She will do her own speaker introduction. Right?
Yeah, super.
Please come up.
就这几页全部都是认识满奖金我留下来的本，其他本。
Testing. afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Diana Watson, and I represent Toastmasters International in Taiwan. We are an organization that's very similar to Rotary. We have a lot of the same values. I've been here 2 other times before speaking about Toastmasters and how I would love to encourage more Rotarians to come to our meetings and see if we can do something where our two organizations can work together to do more within Taiwan. We have 165 clubs in Taiwan. They're Japanese, Taiwanese, Mandarin, English, and we also have 2 Hakka clubs and a lot of bilingual clubs. Most of the clubs are in English. The reason why that I'm here today is because after 3 times of trying, I finally got the Taiwan National Championship and the best speaker in Taiwan. So it was really, thank you. It was a huge deal for me. I was able to go to Las Vegas and represent Taiwan, which was a wonderful experience, you know, holding the Taiwanese flag, and everyone was really confused. They said, okay, where are you from? You're Taiwanese? Oh, but in America now you never know. You know, everybody looks different from different countries. You can't make any assumptions. So many people thought that I was Taiwanese, and then I explained to them, Taiwan is my home now. I've lived there for 10 years. I proudly represent Taiwan, but I am American. So today I'm going to share with you the secrets of how I was able to win the national contest. Just in case your children happen to be in Toastmasters one day, or you decide that you're going to give a speech to someone, that you'll be able to use some of these tips. Okay. So the first tip I want to share with all of you today is learning. Learning. The first time someone asked me to participate in the contest, it was a good friend of mine from Pingdong. She grew up in a farming community. Her father was a doctor. Her grandfather was a doctor. Some of them were killed during the 228 war massacre that happened many years ago. And she explained to me the story that changed her family's life. And she said that her father gave a speech encouraging peace with the people in Pingdong. And she said that was her main reason why she joined Toastmasters, because she understood the power of public speaking. Then after she told me that very moving and touching story, she said, Diana, I think you have the same power just like my father. I want you to try out in the contest. And I said, whoa, this is supposed to be about your father, not about me. I don't want to join a contest, it's too much work. She said, every time you have a calling, nobody wants to do it. Everybody says, why me? I'm not special. It's too much work. I have too many other responsibilities. But many times, that's the reason why it should be you. I want you to embrace this challenge. I still said, no thank you. Ask someone else. Then she gave me so many different reasons and I turned her down. Finally, she said, Diana, if you win, you get a free ticket to the United States. Then all of a sudden I was interested. I said, oh. At the time, the tickets were very expensive. They were 55,000 NT. So my ears perked up. I said, wow, I can save 55,000 NT if I win this contest. Maybe I should just give it a try. We'll see what happens. So I did. I tried, and I remember that day that I made it. We had 4 contests, and I made it to Kaohsiung, where with the national championship, I felt really confident that I was going to win. Everybody said, your speech is so good, Diana, you're going to win. And then I heard 3rd place, 2nd place, Diana Watson. My heart sank. I wanted to cry, but there was 400 people there. I still had to climb those steps, accept my trophy, and smile for so many pictures. When deep down, all I wanted to do was go home and cry. That was my first speech contest in 2012. And my speech was The Blessing in Failure. A very personal speech about how I dropped out of my PhD program at Zhongshan University. It wasn't a very easy decision. After 4 years of a lot of studying, a lot of hard work, I had to make a very tough decision. I felt lost and confused, and I shared that with 400 people in the audience. In my mind, I thought, I deserve to win. This is so embarrassing. I should get the trophy just because of my story. I didn't. There was another Taiwanese speaker who graduated from Oxford. Yeah, he was amazing. Great speaker. He won. That's when I knew I still had a lot of learning to do. So one of the first things that I learned was, what was he doing that I didn't do? There had to be something that I needed to learn, that I needed more practice. And the first thing was stage time. Everything is about stage time. One of the reasons why I love coming to the Rotary meetings is because there's not many opportunities where I can deliver speeches in English to people who are interested and understand English in Taichung, other than other Toastmaster clubs. So I love to get the opportunity to meet Rotarians who can speak English and they're interested in Toastmaster activities. So I love coming here and sharing it and getting this stage time. And every single time you speak on stage, you get the practice. You get the confidence. It's important. My first speech contest, I didn't do it. I thought, I'm American. English is my first language. No problem. I'm being honest. I thought that I was better. I thought because I shared my weakness in such an important story, I deserved to win. It was a good lesson. I learned. So, with stage time, where do I go? I come to Rotary clubs. I went to many different Toastmaster clubs to practice. Before I went to Las Vegas, many people asked me, Diana, before you went to Las Vegas, how many times did you practice? I said 33 times at 33 clubs all over Taiwan in 10 weeks. That's what it takes to really be good. Because I didn't want to embarrass Taiwan. I didn't want to go to Las Vegas and everybody said, oh, it's like a baseball game in Taiwan. Oh, she feels so badly. I didn't want anyone to say that about me. I wanted everyone to think, okay, Diana did a good job. She represented us well. There was more pressure since I was a foreigner, but I was happy to take on the responsibility. Does it really help? Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the things is that you should know about Toastmasters, and when you deliver a speech, everybody thinks you just stand up on the stage and you just talk. I wish it were that easy. The tricky thing in Toastmasters is that you have only 7 minutes. And 7 minutes not to deliver an okay speech, a good speech. It has to be a brilliant speech. Brilliant. So you can't have a straightforward speech where there's an introduction, body, and conclusion. Now, that is boring. The audience wants twists and turns. They want to be shocked. Oops. They They want humor. They want to laugh. If they get the same boring speech again, it'll be in 7 minutes. Imagine to change people's emotions that quickly within that short of period of time. So now, change. How I was able to change. My second time competing in the speech contest. It was a year ago, 2014. This time, instead of having high expectations, I had very, very low expectations. My expectations were very simple. Diana, don't look like an idiot. Don't look like an idiot. Just try your hardest and don't look stupid. So everyone said, oh, Diana, you'll be great, you'll be great. You'll probably win, you'll probably win. I learned my lesson the last time. So my second speech, I focused on meditation. A lot of you may have heard of it. It's called Vipassana. 内观. There's one in Xingshe, but I did mine in the United States. And I talked about the transformation that I went through during those 10 days of my meditation process. You see, I'm like sitting, like I'm meditating, and how I conquered 10 days of no talking. Can you believe it? 10 days of Diana no talking. And I was just happy. It was amazing. There was a lot less ego involved this time. I didn't care so much whether I won or not. I cared about how much I learned. And I cared about just sharing my message. And I was a lot more humble. Why? I learned some things. I learned a lot from leadership. I was a president of 2 clubs. I was the vice president of 1 club. At that time, it took so much of my energy, I didn't care whether I won or not. I was serving my members, a lot like how Skin is serving all of you. It was important to me that I was doing the best that I could for my clubs. The contest was just something because no one else wanted to do it, so I was stuck doing it. So I had to participate. So leadership taught me a lot about being humble. Reaching out and supporting other people. Before, I was too cocky to ask a lot of people for help. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure if they could help me. Some people, if they had limited English skills. But I learned something very important. Sometimes people who may not be able to speak so well still have brilliant ideas. Their listening skills may be very, very high. And they were able to give me some of the best advice I had ever received in my life. And I got a coach. She was very tough. She said, Diana, I graduated from Taipei Yuzhong. Our teachers were very tough. They expect perfection. And that's what I expect from you. Everything has to be exactly right. So everything I said, every position that I had my hands, everything had to be just right. It drove me crazy. It was the first time in my life I said, those Hollywood actors earn their millions. They really do. I thought it was the easiest job ever. The hardest thing was staying skinny. No. It actually is very difficult to act. To do everything that the director wants, especially good directors that are very, very picky about every little thing that you do. Those are the best directors because then you have the best performances. So I was very lucky. I had an amazing coach. who pushed me further than I thought I could ever possibly go. So what did I learn? I learned that it was important to have constant collaboration and compromise. The third time I joined the speech contest. It was this year, April 2015. I practiced a lot, I asked for a lot of help, and I learned. Again, I didn't have high expectations, I didn't have low expectations. This time, my expectations were even. If I won, great. If I lost, okay too. But I still didn't want to look like an idiot. That was still a goal. I didn't want to look like an idiot. And the day came, and I remember standing up on stage, feeling so comfortable, so confident, more than I ever had in my life. Normally you get really nervous, like I did, today. I just don't eat. I'm not really nervous, but I just couldn't eat before speaking, because you just don't want to eat. But that day, I didn't really feel nervous at all. I was completely relaxed and calm. I was in my zone. Have you ever felt like you were just in the zone? You knew exactly what you were doing. You were positive. You were at the right place at the right time, doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. That's the way that I felt. Kind of like the universe finally said, Diana, you got it now. You learned, you changed, now you're going to thrive. I finally thrived. So how did I do that? One of the things that I learned when I competed in the third speech contest, I started making evaluation forms based on my structure, my impact, value, my humor, any kind of suggestions people had. And that's not easy. So after I would go to a meeting and everybody would write their comments, some people would just put all ones, which is bad, or all threes, which was good. Those I just threw in the trash because they didn't do much for me. But then there would be people who would write their suggestions and would say, your speech was really horrible. I like the last one better. Or, are you sure that you want to represent Taiwan this year? I don't think you have it. Those aren't easy to read. But I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot from those suggestions. The ones where people picked me apart were the ones that I studied. If they gave me good, clear suggestions, I always used it. Always. Before, I was too cocky. I wasn't humble. I learned. Those evaluation forms helped a great deal. I also started buying equipment. Today, I'm speaking here and I have my own video camera. So then I can go home and I can look at it and I can see all my mistakes. Because that's the only way you're going to learn. Many people think, oh, I can't stand to hear my own voice. I can't stand to watch myself on video. It is horrible. It's a horrible feeling when you hear your voice. You're just like, you have to get used to it. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get better if you don't. So I use my smartphone. I got a video camera. I also have my own wireless microphone. I didn't use it today because of my dress. I had nothing to clip it on. And I got my own planner. I finally became serious about what I was doing. My script. To give you an idea of what I did, in 2012, these were how many times I revised my script. Only 5 times. 2014, I revised my script 30 times. 2015, I revised it 20 times. Can anyone share with me why these numbers are the way they are? Just take a guess. Anyone? Just a guess. Based on everything that I've told you so far. Those are big. How long I prepared? It was the same amount of time to prepare. The time was the same amount. It was the same amount.
How anxious you are.
Anxious?
You were
Yeah, I guess.
You were more confident the third time.
Yes. I was cocky. I didn't think I needed to change my script that much. I didn't ask anybody to help me. I didn't do that much work. I only had 5 revisions. That's why I lost. The second speech, 2014. 30 revisions. Actually, it was probably more than that, but that's how many I could count. that I still had in my computer. 30 revisions. Why do you think I had 30 revisions for my second speech? Anyone? Want to guess?
You want to win.
The second time, it wasn't so much that I wanted to win, but remember my goal was not to look like an idiot. That was my goal. I did not want to look like an idiot. So my expectations were really low, but actually I also had a lot more fear. I had a lot more fear again. I didn't want, since I lost the first time, I wasn't very secure. I was nervous to get on stage again, honestly. So I just kept rewriting. And then I learned, after rewriting so many times, I got smart. It wasn't so much how many times I revised, but what was the quality of my revisions. That's when I started getting all of my Taiwanese friends that belonged to different clubs who had great ideas, whether their spoken English was good or not, to help me. And those revisions were smart revisions. They weren't ones I did by myself on the computer. I would have 3 or 4 or 5 of my friends together, and we would sit together and we would brainstorm how we would change my script. So they were smarter revisions. So 20 is still a lot, right? That's the reason why there was less this time. So it wasn't working harder, it was working smarter the last time. So my final contest, it was definitely a time where I was really, really happy. I finally came to my own. They got 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st place, Diana Watson! I thought I was Miss America. I was expecting a crown to be put on my head with diamonds glistening. I cried like a baby. I mean, I'm sure I cried more than Brooklyn. I cried more than Brooklyn. I cried like a baby. I was so happy. And what made it even better are that the person who got 2nd place and the person who got 3rd place, all 3 of us were from Taichung. Everybody always assumed Taipei's going to win, Taipei's going to win. And yeah, usually they always win. But this year, everyone, all 3 of us came from Taichung. And both of them are my good friends. It was a dream come true for us. And you can see how excited I was. Josh picked me up and I almost scared the audience. You can almost see up my skirt. Check that out. It was a great moment. It was a really great experience. I don't know if any of you know about this book. It's called Big Magic. It's a new book by Elizabeth Gilbert. She wrote the famous book, Eat, Pray, Love, about her experiences in Italy, India, and Indonesia. And she wrote this book talking about how so many people let their fear keep them from doing the things they should do in life. And I think about my friend from Pingdong and how scared her father must have been. Excuse me. To try to promote peace in Taiwan. And if it wasn't for that story, she would have never been able to encourage me to try out for the speaking contest. So I'd like to end with this really powerful quote from her book. The universe buries strange jewels deep within us all, and then stands back to see if we can find them. The universe buries strange jewels deep within all of us. We all have these precious jewels. But then it stands back and waits to see if we can find them. I was lucky I had someone who saw it in me, or I wouldn't have had such an amazing experience. Rotarians, thank you for letting me share my message with you today. Thank you. 谢谢。
Anyone have a question? Really touching, moving speech. Yeah, I learned a lot from your speech. First, be humble, reach out your hand, support others, help others. And the less expectation you said, and the lower expectation you said, the less disappointment you get. Like an old book 上书写的，晚食以当肉，安步以当居，无醉以当贵。So you eat late, or you get very hungry, and any meal will feel so delicious. Even the vegetable tastes like a meat. And walk confidently like take a limousine. And not being put in jail, feel, oh, you're so lucky, you're very happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a small gift for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, was there any questions? I'm sorry. Did anyone have any questions? You can ask me anything. I'll be very honest.
We can ask her afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Right? You will be here, right?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. Attendance report. We have 20 Rotarians today, 3 guests. So we sum up a total of 69%. That's all for today. So, Mr. Skin, would you go
Okay.
to me?
Thank you all.
和大厂的沟通。